Hi, Matt Cave here with Hudson Property Services, and in today's video we're going to talk all about utilities. We get a lot of questions from homeowners asking how to determine which utilities should be included with their rental. So today we're going to cover how we handle utilities, what's customary here in the Hudson Valley, and some pitfalls to avoid when thinking about utilities at your rental property. So the first thing that I wanted to mention is that we separate this into two distinct categories. We look at single family homes and then multi-family homes. So on the single family side, the nice thing is that you can actually hand off most of the utility costs over to the residents. So typically that's things like electricity, any fuel, fuel oil, propane, gas, even lawn maintenance and grounds maintenance, snow removal. It's customary here in the Hudson Valley, and most residents expect to pay for those costs. Now, there are some exceptions. If you have maybe a larger yard, a standard yard is maybe less than an acre up to an acre. If you've got a large amount of property that needs to be maintained, it's not really customary for a resident to have to take on that responsibility or that cost. So that's something that you may want to look at. But if you're looking at your typical single family home, most of the time residents expect to pay for all utilities, ground maintenance, and snow removal. On the multifamily side, if you do have multiple units in your property, as long as you have separate meters for all those units, so a separate fuel tank or gas meter, separate electric meter, then you can have the resident pay for those utilities as long as it's metered separate. When it's not metered separately, that's what we call a shared meter situation. So if any portion of that utility covers a common space or another residence space, then you can't charge the tenant for that utility. So it's something that you want to look at. Often we run into situations where the property has some separate utilities, so maybe the electric is separate, the gas is separate, but there's only one meter for water and sewer, and so you can't charge one resident for utilities that are going to be used by other people in the building or a common space. So we run into that with water, sometimes with trash. So you got to make sure that you keep those things separate for each individual resident. The other thing that you want to look out for in both single family and multifamily is anything that's going to be dangerous for a resident. So we really don't want our residents up on ladders or doing anything that could be dangerous. So if you have them, for example, taking care of things like filter changes, sometimes we'll find some HVAC filters that are up in the ceiling or in a high place. It just doesn't have good access and a sturdy staircase or ladder to it. We really don't want residents doing anything dangerous. So sometimes it's the HVAC filter that's up high, cleaning gutters. Those are things that we really don't want to push off onto the resident, again, because of liability and the danger there that someone could get hurt. So I hope that this video was helpful. If you could use some help in determining what utilities you would like to include in your rental property, please feel free to visit us on our website. That's www.hpshomes.com, and click on the free rental estimate link. In our rental estimate, what we'll do is part of it is helping you determine what the fair market rent could be for your home. But on the other side, we can also help you take a look at the utilities and make recommendations on what we would include and how to handle utilities at your property. Hope this was helpful, and thank you so much for watching.